I'm standing next to or leaning on a 2005 Bentley Arnage Model T, and it's a Mulliner edition. I've had the Bentley on my kind of bucket list for a while, just to kind of see what they're like. I've read a lot of articles about them, and people are afraid of repair cost and so forth, and they depreciate significantly. So this car, 2005, is probably at 20% of what it originally stickered for. And I think what I looked for was something that was low miles. This car has 23,000 miles, and it was well cared for. This car was driven actually by a chauffeur. And you can tell by just looking at the paint that it was hand washed and kept inside, and is in, aside from a couple small little dings, you know, it's in perfect condition. So what I like to do is do a quick walk around on the car, and then go for a test drive, and I'll try to point out some things that in the short 500 miles that I've had it that I've learned. The one thing I will say is that this car had some of the, what I think are normal issues for it. I've seen it on a lot of the cars. The rear trunk boot struts had failed, the antenna had failed, the rear gas springs had failed, and then I think there was one drop link that had failed. I bought all those parts from Flying Spheres in the UK, and I was a little concerned about installing them and thought I'd run into a lot of trouble, but it took me about 4 hours to do all of that work. So very intuitive. Things were easily accessible. If you get a good, well cared for car, you don't have a lot of rusted things and so forth. So anyway, we'll do a quick walk around, and then we'll go for a test drive. Okay, so let's go for a test drive. Turn the key on, start button, turn off the radio. I am taking it in for a service. It has a service light. It has the seatbelt warning, but doesn't make you put it on, which is, I'll put it on anyway. So all of these controls, with the exception of this, can be covered up. And you know, the one thing you notice when you get in almost immediately is the fit and finish of the car. So I've had Jaguars, I've had Mercedes, including the new S-Class. I've had BMWs, I've had Range Rovers, and the fit and finish inside this car is a step above anything that I've ever had. I mean, the only plastic in the car is the face of the buttons. The vents, all the knobs are metal. It's, every surface is leather, real wood, machined aluminum, and then, you know, just how everything is put together is really over the top. Headliner, everything is leather. And you know, even a Mercedes, a new Mercedes, you look and they have nice wood and other things, but it pretty quickly falls off on lower panels to plastic. So this has the tufted leather everywhere. The other thing is, you know, from a power perspective, I've yet to really floor this car. Something about driving a Bentley, I don't want to smoke the wheels. But 6.75 liter twin turbo, 450 horse. That is not the number that gets me when I think about this car and driving it. It's the fact that it's got close to 700 foot-pounds of torque. So, like the new Mercedes that I had a 4-liter V8 and probably had more horsepower, 500 plus, but it was more spooling and you know, winding it up than this car. This is just pure power and torque. When you press on the gas, it feels like you're pulling the throttle on a freight train. I mentioned in the intro that I replaced the gas spheres on the car. Before that, it was funny because it really rode rough. It bounced. My wife and I took it to a car show in McPherson, and she was bouncing up and almost hitting the ceiling. And those spheres go out, and they fill full of fluid, and it's just like a rock. But put those in, and the ride is back to what you would expect it to be for a Bentley. So, you know, my conclusions on this car is, I mean, you got to think about why you want it. To me, it was the quality of the vehicle. And want to experience it from just a pure automobile perspective versus wanting people to know you have a Bentley. Because it's a 20-year-old car, so anybody can buy one. Again, it's the one you buy in the condition that it's in, but just to experience the engineering and the quality of this car, to me, it was worth the effort. Now, what I don't know if how long I'll keep it. Again, it's now got 23,000 miles. I put brand new tires on it. I'm getting it serviced, so it'll have all the everything done on it to where I'll feel comfortable driving it. I might take it on a road trip somewhere, but then I probably will sell it. It does have, at least the Model Ts have decent value. The one thing that's interesting about this car, and I don't have proof or documentation or a signature or anything like that. I looked at all the documents, and most Bentley owners probably don't fill out their owner's information and so forth. Is that the second owner that had it the longest was a friend of who I purchased it from. And he bought it from the dealership that sold it new. The first owner traded it in, and when he bought it, they told him that the first owner was Eddie Murphy. So I have no reason to doubt that. I mean, it's a $250,000 car. It was driven 2,500 miles in the first year and then traded in. Sounds like the behavior of somebody that's wealthy and a star, so forth. So anyway, it's a little added plus to drive the car and have the cell phone that maybe he used to accept a movie role. So anyway, thanks for joining me at American Dream Garage, and I hope this helps. I wouldn't be afraid of buying a Bentley as long as you do your homework before you buy it.